Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be doing a short documentary on addictions and recovery. I hope you find this informative. So without any further ado, let's begin. So what is addiction? Well, addiction is the inability to stop taking or using or doing something, even if it's causing you physical or mental harm. A common usage of addiction is towards drugs and alcohol, but it can also be towards gaming and pornography. People with an addiction don't always like admitting or showing that they have an addiction. For example, 45-year-old Jake was admitted to Cheadle Priory Hospital with an alcohol addiction. He hid it from his family, a wife and 3 kids, and they found out later. Every day after work, he'd binge drink in the pub and then come home late at night saying that he'd gone to work. This also shows that alcohol addicts are in denial that they're addicted, and they're not afraid to hide it from family and loved ones. Some people get addiction because their family have the same addiction. For example, Jem, aged 16, got a smoking addiction because both of his parents smoked, and he said it became normalcy in the house. Others do it because they have had traumatic experiences in their childhood and want to escape from the problems. Now let's move on to the next chapter, recovery from an addiction. There are 5 major stages towards overcoming an addiction. The first stage is called the pre-contemplation stage. This is the stage where you acknowledge that you have an addiction. Many addicts don't want to admit to themselves that they have an addiction, and so it makes it harder for them to escape their addiction. Stage 2 is called the contemplation stage. The contemplation stage is where, after being ready to escape your addiction, you know what the pros are of escaping your addiction. Because if you know the good things about escaping your addiction, then you'll be able to overcome your addiction easily. The third stage of this plan is the preparation stage. The preparation stage is exactly what it says on the tin. It means that you have to prepare for the tough journey up ahead. So this could be going to the gym for the first time, it could be seeing the counsellor, it could be taking up a new hobby, but you don't go to an addiction counsellor just yet. The fourth stage is called the action stage. This is when you start taking serious action towards your goal and when most people start going to see a counsellor. They decide to go cold turkey for 1 or 2 days and then increase the time slowly. However, if they start getting serious withdrawal symptoms, they start going back to the pre-contemplation and the contemplation stage before coming back to where they are now. The fifth and final stage is called the maintenance stage, and it's where you have to preserve all of the stuff that you've done up till now. This can either be by going to the gym or going to a group session where they talk about their addiction. This stage can take from around 6 months to 5 years, and it's probably the hardest stage out of all 5 stages. And your main goal is to stop yourself from having an addiction relapse. Just because you've finished all of these 5 steps doesn't mean you've been cured of addiction. Like heart disease or diabetes, it's a long process towards fixing it. And you have to remain self-aware for the rest of your life. A main treatment for addiction is also called CBT, or cognitive behavioural therapy. This is where you have a professional therapist who talks to you every week and checks on your progress and also gets your family involved as well so that they can help you get out of your addiction. And on that note, thanks so much for listening, and I hope you all enjoyed this short documentary on addictions and recovery.